Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So apparently Netmarble wants me to live stream Battle Royale. Well, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to tell you guys exactly what's going on with this game. And warn you again and again and again that this is probably not the game you want to play. And this is definitely not the game that Netmarble wants you to believe it is. So you'll see that I'm not a zero power player. And I have a low, Citadel, what is this, 28? I have a 28. So you'll see that I've played this game at least a little bit. I was probably the first external beta tester, and I was one of the very, very first people to play this game when it came available, and I recruited a whole bunch of friends. But all of this is water under the bridge, and it's basically for the history books. What I want to talk about today is some things about the game in general and why you should be, well, more or less extremely cautious when downloading this game and playing it. This is an extremely money-hungry, cash-hungry spender's game. There's no two ways about it. A free player is never going to amount to hill of beans in this game. Don't have any delusions about it. When somebody like Tess comes, if they don't like you, they will destroy you. End of story. That's the first thing. So free players, they moved the free play wall. A lot of games in the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes will hit you. You're going to know right away, and have a lot of games, exactly where you stand in terms of spend versus not spend. In this game, they moved the wall. It's going to take you a week, maybe even 2 weeks, before you hit this significant thousands of days research and thousands of days upgrading times and things like this. So they moved the paywall, and it's to get you hooked. You get in these habits, you get addicted, things like that. But, regardless of where they move the paywall, there's still a paywall, and spenders are just going to just destroy you if they want to. There's that. It's not a fair game. It's a casher's game, a coiner's game, a pay-to-win game, whatever you want to call it. The other thing, and there's two other points that really fundamentally bug me about this, because you'll know I play other games. If you know me, spending is not, it's a non-issue. That was never the problem for me. The problem I had was really 2 or 3 different things. The first thing is that they care about player retention. Zero player retention is, they just don't care about it at all. And by this, I mean, they keep merging kingdoms over and over and over and over again. Merging kingdoms. We started out in Kingdom 2, then they merged it into Kingdom 1. And then, they just keep merging kingdoms. I mean, so eventually, it's like any big spender is eventually going to get smashed next to you. So I guess that there's no Kingdom 4, because Kingdoms 1, 2, 3, and 4 have all been smashed together. You'll see there's Kingdom 5, so 5, 6, 7, 8 have all been smashed together. 9 and God only knows what else was. Okay, so there's 9, there's 10. So 10 and 11 and 12 got smashed together. They're just going to keep merging kingdoms and merging kingdoms and merging kingdoms. So the upside of that is if you're a big spender, you're going to have new people to smash against all the time. But if you're a free player, or you're not a spender, you're maybe even a mid spender, you're going to have to keep basically dealing with this getting smashed together type situation. So you'll see they don't have a whole heck of a lot of kingdoms. Why? Because they keep merging them and merging them and merging them. And, other games, when the population dies down a little bit, it's okay, because they're okay games. But in this game, when they smash two big spenders together, what happens is the spenders have to obviously spend money in order to, overcome this stuff. So you see that this one team probably is what Tess is, a part of. And you'll see the K1, this Blood Oath Sin, was from, just a bunch of merging of kingdoms. I'm not even going to go into the history of it. So there's that. So it's a spender's game. Okay, no problem there. They're merging aggressively and killing off kingdoms and something like that. Okay, no problem there. The real super root of the problem that I had is that the battle algorithm is just junk. And they kept trying to band-aid the situation instead of actually fixing it. So first it was, they buffed before the global release. You guys don't know this because this is all history. So before the global release, they buffed T1s. They made them super cheap to build, and they added their stats up, and they reduced the stats of the top tier troops. So it was basically like this giant rebalancing. And the only thing that it did is it made the top tier troops kind of worthless. And the bottom tier troops way OP because you could build 10 million of them for almost nothing. In fact, the problem got so bad that one of these guys in this kingdom, my K1, he built 400 million T1 because that was the best defense he could get. He kept stacking them on more and more and more. It started out with 40 million T1 and then just kept stacking them on more and more and more and more and more because they came out with T1 killing gear and just piled them on because they were so cheap to make. So they came out with T1 killing gear. And then people started making T2s. And this is completely illogical. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And it's because their algorithm is dumb. And they just don't understand battle mechanics. But whatever. You guys may or may not believe me. I don't really care. So they just kept, so people started making T2s because building a ton of low-level troops makes sense. Like, really? I don't get it. So they started building T2s. And now they came out with new equipment that kills T2s. So, of course, they're playing whack-a-mole. Instead of actually fixing the problem and actually making top-tier troops, battle-worthy, they just keep playing whack-a-mole in terms of, trying to clog the bottom end of the game, and it's it just doesn't work. So the game looks beautiful. I mean, you just walk around, you just look at this terrain. I mean, they did a really nice job on the art. The UI, I don't really like it because, black on white text is bad for usability. But, there's a lot of things about this game. It had so much potential. Look at that. That's just beautiful. I love that art. But they screwed up on the algorithm. They have really bad policies on merging kingdoms. And this is reminiscent of Game of War. And I never played Game of War. I played another sucky war game. But, people who played Game of War, I think you guys are exhausted on that. So this game is just going to end up being the same thing. It's just a Game of War repeat. They took some elements from it. They took some elements of King of Babylon. They took some elements of, this, that, and another. But at the end of the day, they didn't actually learn why those games failed. This game isn't even top 200. Nobody is really playing this. I don't even know where these people are coming from. I think they're like begging or scraping people from God only knows where. So, you'll see they don't have many kingdoms, and it's probably not going to have many kingdoms, and those kingdoms are just going to keep dying and being smashed together and dying and smashed together, to try and force spenders to keep spending money. So, whatever. New equipment's going to come out. All right, who cares? They were going to bring out Citadel 35. I don't know if it came out or if it's delayed or what the heck happened with that. I couldn't care less. T6s, T7s, it makes no difference to me whatsoever because they won't fix the real problems. Their battle algorithms are just broken. They copied things so greatly, but they didn't actually understand, about, hey, they just didn't understand it. So T7s didn't come out. So we still got T6s as the top tier troop. I guess they chickened out on that, cowards. So, yeah. Oh well. Sucks to be them. But anyway, don't have any misguided delusions about what this game is or isn't. They've got one fair play event, and then everything else is just basically, it favors spenders in one way or the other. So I felt it was just time to open up Iron Fart and say hi to everybody. So here's a Christmas tree. Let's see what I get. Already received the event reward. All right. No, I didn't. I just clicked on it just now. So, yep, there you go. You've been warned. Avoid this game like the plague. If you downloaded it, delete it. Go play a different game. Go play Fortnite or PUBG or Pokemon Go or something like that, because or an IO game, you know, Spinner IO, or, you know, whatever, Snake IO, who cares? Those games are more fair. I mean, they're definitely not a build and battle game. And oh yeah, shameless self-promotion. I'm building an adventure social battle game. So if you want to check that out, you can go to revenge.game, and I'm updating some content on my website. So shameless self-promotion there. But cool. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope this video was able to help people just have some perspective in life in terms of this game, and they pretend of what it is and what it isn't, and it's really shameless. So, you know, people need to just call it out. What, you know, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Quit trying to pretend it's not. So anyway, love you guys, and bye-bye for now.